Hello, I'm Helen Ward, President of Kids First Parent Association of Canada, with the fourth and final part of our presentation on parent and child rights in education in Canada and how suggestions for making a complaint and taking legal action. So let's just get right into that. Okay. Kids First, www.kidsfirstcanada.org. So this section is on what rights do parents and children have. So there's three kinds of rights: international human rights agreements, Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and Canadian and provincial or territorial human rights codes. So international human rights agreements. There is a fantastic resource that I'm going to recommend to you. It's called the Declaration of the Authority of Parents and Guardians in the Education of Their Children. It was put together in 2011 by the Catholic Civil Rights League. I'm not a Catholic, I'm not a member of that league, but it's an excellent document. This is the URL for that document. And there's an additional document that's associated with called the supplement. And in this supplement document, it quotes a number of international human rights agreements with the sections that are relevant to children's and parents' rights. So I will strongly suggest that you use the quotes in these documents, or in this document, because when courts interpret human rights laws, the international human rights agreements are relevant to that interpretation. And the parent-child relationship is very much protected in international human rights laws, and the parental authority over their child's rearing is very protected, as is the position of the family in the society. So please access these resources when you're making a complaint about how you or your child has been treated by the education system. Okay, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms is the top law in Canada, and all other laws are under the Charter. So school boards, teachers, medical personnel, all of these people their regulations and their laws are under the Charter. And laws and policies can be struck down or revised if need be to be compliant with the Charter. They're struck down by judges. Sometimes these kinds of cases go all the way to the Supreme Court of Canada, because it's their job to ensure that the Charter of Rights and Freedoms is upheld, and they interpret it. And the Supreme Court of Canada has been very protective of parental rights, parent-child relationship, and the need for public trust in the public education system, and the need to avoid a poisoned education environment. Not very few cases, very few cases go to the Supreme Court of Canada related to children's and parents' rights in the education system, but the few that have gone there have set good precedent. The lower levels, these are ignored or just not known. So there's different sections in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. So one of the sections that you would be dealing with would be Section 2. This is a protection for our fundamental freedoms. So what are our fundamental freedoms? Freedom of conscience, freedom of religion. And religion doesn't mean you're a Sikh or you're a Protestant or whatever. It could mean that, but it means any sincerely held belief with a connection to the divine. So any sincerely held belief with a connection to the divine. Atheists are also protected under freedom of religion because they're protected from intrusions of religious beliefs that they don't accept in the school system or wherever. We also have freedom of thought, belief, opinion, and expression. And expression is very widely interpreted. So your expression is to be free. It can be restricted only for very good reasons. We have the rights of freedom of peaceful assembly, and we have the freedom of association. So freedom of association means who you spend your time with, or get together with, or hang out with. In a school, you're required or you're forced to associate with people who you may not want to associate with, or they may be required to associate with you. So this freedom of association is routinely violated by the school system, and but again, if you're okay with the association, it's not a violation. Okay, Section 2. Now, another important section of the Charter in these issues is Section 7. It says everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of person, and the right not to be deprived thereof, except in accordance with the principles of fundamental justice. What do these things mean? Well, life, that's pretty much straightforward in life, whether you're alive or not. But liberty, the Supreme Court of Canada has decided that this right includes a, quote, a protected sphere of parental decision-making for parents to ensure their children's well-being. For example, a right to make decisions concerning a child's education and health. And that's from a case known as ER. Security of person. So parents have a liberty right to determine make decisions regarding their child's education and health. When the education system interferes with parents' liberty rights, they're violating your charter right. Security of person. That means your mental and physical well-being. Also includes freedom from threat and bodily autonomy. So if something that's happening in the school is distressing a child's emotions, that could be also causing physical distress, that's a violation of security of person. Also, if it's impacting a parent's security of person, something is that there's a conflict that's causing mental distress, emotional distress, anger, loss of sleep, all these things are infringements of your security of person. So the Section 7 mentions the principles of fundamental justice. So what are those principles of fundamental justice? They include the right to due process, a full and fair defense. They include the presumption of innocence. Also, laws cannot be vague, arbitrary, or overbroad. We see a lot of vague, arbitrary, and overbroad legislation or policies related to children's education, care, and protection. So these could be challenged under Section 7, the principles of fundamental justice. And the negative impact of a law restricting our freedoms cannot be grossly disproportionate to the purpose of the law. There can be no cruel and unusual punishment. Okay, in Section 8 of the Charter, it says everyone has the right to be secure against unreasonable search and seizure. And it is this section of the Charter that protects our privacy rights and our personal information and our personal data. We see privacy and personal information data is routinely not protected, not respected in schools. So this might be an issue you want to raise. And the Section 15 of the Charter is about our equality rights. So it says that we have equality before and under law and equal protection and benefit of law. So every individual is equal before and under the law and has the right to equal protection and equal benefit of the law without discrimination, and in particular, without discrimination based on race, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, sex, age, or mental or physical disability. Sex also includes now sexual orientation. So if you feel there's discrimination based on any of these aspects in what's happening with your child's education or with how a child or a parent is being treated by the school system, education personnel, these are issues to raise. Section 15 violation. Now, the Section 15 relates to human rights codes. So every province has a human rights code, and the territories do too. And the human rights codes prohibit discrimination in a service, such as education, medical services, therapeutic services, and it covers the Section 15 grounds like race, national or ethnic origin, color, religion, sex, age, or mental or physical ability. But also in the human rights codes, they include family status. Discrimination, you can't discriminate based on a family status, and family status includes the status of being a parent of a minor child and being the minor child of a parent. So discrimination against parents is a violation of family status protection in the Human Rights Code, so it's illegal. You can't discriminate based on somebody's race or color. Marital status discrimination also prohibited. Often single parents find themselves being discriminated in various systems, and the children of single parents too. Sexual orientation is included, gender identity and gender expression are included. Now these terms haven't been well defined, neither has family status in the law. But somebody's gender identity and gender expression might include expressing your identity by prioritizing the care of your children, by prioritizing looking after them and tending to them, by spending a lot of time with them, or whatever that could be an expression of your gender identity. Also, you can't discriminate based on the source of income. For example, if somebody's on social assistance, that's on welfare, discrimination based on that is also not okay. And discrimination doesn't have to be direct indiscrimination. Discrimination can be indirect. If something's impacting you because of one of these statuses, then that's also discrimination. It doesn't have to be intentional. Discrimination does not have to be intentional. This discriminatory effect and impact is what is of concern. So just to review from the very beginning of this, you should work together with other complainants. You need to make a comprehensive appeal from the beginning. Make your complaint in writing. Use official forms that are available. You can use the checklist document that's going to be available. I'm sorry, I don't have the URL for you right now. And also that declaration on the authority of parents and education of their children. You need to list in detail the adverse effects on anyone negatively impacted by whatever is happening at the school. List the violations of the board policies, school act, professional code of conduct, human rights codes, charter, international agreements. These items are all listed in the checklist document, so you can just check them off as they apply to you. You start at the local level, for example, the teacher and then the principal. Then you go to the superintendent or to the teacher regulation body for an administrative review. Any member of the public can make a complaint through the teacher regulation body, but only parents and students can complain through the district process. And then you would seek judicial review in court, and you need to be prepared to appeal to a higher court. So we hope this helps with your concerns with the education system and with children and parents' rights. So all the best to you in your endeavors, and know that there are rights. You do have rights, but we need to assert our rights. And parents have not been doing that effectively, and we need lawyers to help us with this. And we're getting there. We're getting there. So all the best, and I hope this is helpful. Thank you for listening.